So now we understand that in order to process information quickly and efficiently, our subconscious brain associates information together to make sense of it. Our brain creates a bias or a preference for certain things to go together. We do this because media and experiences send us micro messages that are associated with one another. And because our brains need to make snap judgment calls on whether to fight or flight, whether to embrace or run, we need a more efficient way of thinking. Our subconscious makes these decisions quickly for us because our rational part of our brain, the conscious part of our brain, is too slow to make decisions quick enough that could be detrimental to our health or safety. These decisions are made so quickly that we are usually completely unaware that this level of information processing is even taking place. Hence, why we call these preferences our implicit bias. It becomes easier for our brains to interpret the information we receive by associating things together. So, what does our implicit bias have to do with us as educators and teachers? Actually, a lot. Though we are not in life or death decision making situations in schools, we simply cannot turn the subconscious part of our brain off. So it fires up and unknowingly makes snap decisions about the students we serve. Some messages our brains may unknowingly send us is which students are destined to excel and which students are destined to fail, which students are absolvable and which students are unsavable, which students are being honest and which are being dishonest, which students are in true need of additional resources and which students are taking advantage of the system, which parents are involved and which parents are uninvolved, which families are supportive and which families are not supportive, which students are capable of learning and which students are not, even which teachers to hire and promote and which don't seem to be fitting in with the team or the school culture. Now, these messages may sound crazy to you. You, after all, became a teacher because you believed in all students. You may feel strongly that you would never make any of these assumptions because they go against your beliefs as an educator. The truth is, we all probably feel that way, and that we are not in control of this part of our brain which makes these decisions. We learn about these associations because of the micro messages that we see in the media about different genders, different cultures, different races and religions and socioeconomic statuses of the students and their families. We don't even realize that we hold these biases. Every teacher, educator, principal does in fact hold this bias. And the first step to overcoming them is admitting that we have them. Even though it is subconscious, we do have a responsibility and a moral obligation to try to recognize the implicit bias that we hold and to work to eliminate using bias as a way that we unknowingly make decisions, especially when it disadvantages those around us. So I know the big question on your mind now is, I'm starting to get it, but what do we do about our implicit bias? We can start with these basic steps. The first step is to recognize that everyone holds bias. Educators need to take time to learn what implicit bias is and where it comes from. They need to understand how it affects the way that we make decisions in our jobs and in our lives. Learning about bias helps us to become more aware of the implicit bias that we observe in the media, in our education, and in our lives. Awareness is the first step to being a less biased teacher. Congratulations, you're already on your way because you have been watching these videos and you are taking the initial steps towards understanding how bias works and how it can impact your decision-making process as an educator. Next, we need to slow down. Our profession is a fast one. We are always teaching, meeting, lesson planning, educating ourselves, running to the copy machine, grabbing that extra cup of coffee. Educators know how to hustle and are master multitaskers. People are always amazed at how much we can accomplish in just an hour, let alone in an entire day or an entire school year. The ability to complete our work quickly and efficiently is essential to being an educator. However, when we need to make quick decisions about who to hire, promote, pass, award, or punish, we resort to subconscious thinking and subconscious reasoning. We don't realize it, and we believe that we are making these decisions based on all the information and facts that we have. But in reality, the quicker the decision needs to be made, the more likely you are not in control of that decision. The more likely your subconscious part of your brain is in control. Slowing down means taking time to talk to people that you are working with. Whether it is a student who broke a rule or a new teacher you are wanting to hire, getting to know people as individuals helps us to use the conscious part of our brain, the more rational part of our brain, to make decisions about them. Slowing down gives us time to think about our decisions and how they're going to impact individuals and be perceived by our community. It also gives us time to see how our decisions impact the institutions, practices, and policies of our school.